even though she bought all these beautiful designer bags, that didn't make her feel any better than before. And actually, she just sees it as like a waste of money. Like she said, it's not an investment. In fact, like the whole concept of collecting handbags is really silly, and that we shouldn't feel like we need to do that. Kind of shows snippets of Kylie Jenner's wardrobe and all that. And a lot of YouTubers are speaking about how we've been fooled, I guess, to buy so many designer bags and get stuck down this rabbit hole of collecting them. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Jess. This morning I watched a video from Nikki Sky saying that she has got rid of everything, and I immediately panicked because I was like, oh my gosh, what about her designer bags? You know, there's so many luxury YouTubers that I've watched like the last few weeks who have said, I'm getting rid of my designer bags. Like, I'm done with my designer bag addiction, and I've just had an awakening and I can't do this anymore, and oh my gosh, this is not who I am. And you know, I kind of feel like, oh my gosh, am I going to have an awakening? Am I going to be like, oh my gosh, this is just like the worst thing in my life. I have to get rid of everything and become a minimalist, because there is that trend towards doing that, I feel like, anyway. And let me know, guys, have you noticed a lot more videos pop up where your old YouTubers that you used to watch have now gone down this minimalist trajectory? Because I did make a video recently about YouTubers who have gone down this journey of buying a lot of designer bags and then completely detoxing from it. They all have this more minimalist mindset now, which I actually find quite refreshing. But in a way, it also makes me question myself and think, when am I going to wake up? Because like, I have been bloody sleeping for a long time. And you know, I have gone through phases where I've cleansed my wardrobe, sold a lot of things. I mean, we all go through different stages in our lives. And for me, I used to work at a Topshop and I bought a lot of fast fashion, and there was a stage where I completely got rid of everything, well, most things, because that wasn't who I was anymore. I was like, you know, in my early 20s, and I changed when I got into my late 20s, and then I became obsessed with designer fashion. But you know, I've collected like many Chanel bags, many Louis Vuitton bags, and I really don't feel like I'm the same person as I was a few years ago as well. And I feel like sometimes as our body and like mind and life around us changes, we feel like we also need to change like our wardrobe in a way. And I will say, guys, like, it doesn't really matter how many bags or how many little bags you have. Really, it's just all a mental thing. Detoxing from your objects, or like getting rid of objects. You can still be unhappy when you get rid of everything as well. And you can still be unhappy if you have too many objects as well. I think it's all about looking deep inside and not putting too much energy into these things, which is hard. But I just worry with people watching these minimalist videos that they're gonna get influenced to detox everything and sell everything, and they might regret it. Because I know for myself, I've sold things really fast in the past because I felt guilty to have them, or I felt like they weren't me, and I did regret that a little bit. And then I bought things back, and I really don't know if I'll ever wake up from this like love for fashion, because I really like handbags. But maybe I will one day, once, I don't know, if I have kids or something, because Nikki Sky mentioned that she had this real life-changing experience when she had kids, and that she no longer felt like the girl she used to be, and couldn't identify with herself and this big wardrobe she had. She felt dissociated from her work on YouTube. You know, she had this hair extensions brand, and she had to sell her business because she no longer identified with that whole like, you know, focus on beauty and styling. And you know, she was very much known for her H&M hauls and that sort of thing as well. I found Nikki many years ago because of her love of Chanel bags. I loved hearing her speak about like some of her favorite Chanel bags. She very much encouraged people to buy the classic flap, which is now called the 1112 bag. You know, 4 or 5 years ago, she was speaking about how, you know, they're always going to be great investments in like classic bags. She had one in beige, one in black. And she tends to dress quite neutral, so these definitely went with her style. But you know, thinking about it, like back then it was much cheaper. Now it's like $18,000 Australian, so I can see why less YouTubers are now pushing the classic flap, because it's so expensive and it's just not realistic to encourage people to buy it anymore. I mean, it's not really realistic to encourage people to buy any really expensive bag, like even an Hermes bag, I suppose. They're all overpriced, but yeah, she did really have a big passion for Chanel. You know, she had many Coco handles, many Chanel backpacks, even a few tote bags, vintage pieces, and she didn't really sway from buying Chanel bags, and she was really into that. But recently I was surprised because she unboxed a Birkin bag, which I'm like, okay, it's really interesting that a lot of these YouTubers as well go down this journey of buying a lot of you know, either Chanel or Dior, and then they sometimes go down this path of like feeling like they need to buy an Hermes bag, and that's like the end of the journey. And for Nikki, she bought this Birkin bag. She wears it, she did a lot of styling videos with it. And now she's had this awakening where she feels like she needs to really declutter her whole wardrobe. And she mentioned that she's selling a lot of her things through like a consignment store. And I did notice like one Chanel bag in there, but yeah, she in her video, it was titled like, you know, she's getting rid of everything, and you saw her clearing out her whole wardrobe. And I do wonder if she is selling all her Chanel bags as well, because that would be quite drastic. And I wonder if she were to sell all her Chanel bags, if she would regret that down the line, because, you know, I have, as I said, gone through phases where I sell a lot of things because I feel like I'm changing. But it wasn't really, I didn't really need to let go of all those things. Like, I would have been okay if I kept them as well. And sometimes getting rid of things means that you need to change and buy other things to turn into your authentic self. But at what point do you like just stick with your style? Like, I think that's the problem, is that when you get rid of everything, like, you have to sell it on, and then you have to buy other things to make you feel like, okay, this is more me now. But it's really hard to know who you are, guys. So anyways, she's got rid of a lot of things, and she's said that she's going to change the trajectory of her channel and, you know, share her journey and not so much encourage, you know, this consumer behavior of overbuying. You know, she was very much known for her H&M hauls and that sort of thing as well. So I really find it interesting, and I think it's refreshing to have this attitude towards buying less as well, because we can really be tempted a lot to spend too much money, and, you know, in this day and age, it's not as easy. There's a lot of things that are expensive, cost of living has gone up, all that, and we're all thinking of our future, investing into other things, right? So yeah, it is nice that YouTubers are buying less, I guess. It's more refreshing to watch, but maybe because of the times as well, a lot of YouTubers are feeling the need to change their content because they know that that's what people prefer watching now. Maybe people do prefer watching less hauls, unboxings, and they find that quite offensive to watch in a way, because a lot of people are struggling at the moment. And that also could be why Nikki changed her direction of her channel, but I'm not too sure. It probably also, it seems like it's her own personal journey, and it will be interesting to see how she changes again. She had children, and that's what changed it for her. And also reading this book, which she mentioned, which I wouldn't mind reading that book too, because I mean, maybe that will make me wake up from my shopping addiction too. But yeah, another YouTuber I watched just recently is Bey, who has, like, you know, over 1 million subscribers. I'm sure you guys know who she is. And she spoke about how she is also done with buying luxury to excess. And she also mentioned that she's selling a lot of her wardrobe on her website as well. Now, Bey is definitely somebody who, you know, tries to encourage people to live an elegant lifestyle and to present yourself beautifully. And she does indeed have a lot of designer bags as well. I mean, she mentioned that she has 5 Kelly bags. Even though she bought all these beautiful designer bags, that didn't make her feel any better than before. And actually, she just sees it as like a waste of money. Like she said, it's not an investment. In fact, that the whole concept of collecting handbags is really silly, and that we shouldn't feel like we need to do that. Kind of shows snippets of Kylie Jenner's wardrobe and all that. And a lot of YouTubers are speaking about how we've been fooled, I guess, to buy so many designer bags and get stuck down this rabbit hole of collecting them. Although Bey, I suppose, I don't think that she's selling like all her handbags, but she is decluttering a lot, and perhaps moving forward she's not going to buy as many designer bags. Maybe she's also done with buying Hermes bags. I do notice that it's very popular to talk about, I guess, detoxing from luxury. And I wanted to ask you guys, like, do you feel like it's healthier to not buy designer bags than to buy designer bags? Because there is like this association with collecting designer bags that makes people feel like there's either something wrong mentally with them or there's something wrong with somebody who does, because it's not really necessarily always a bad thing to collect designer bags, guys. I just want to say that, because if you find joy from it, and if you still, like, if you enjoy putting random horses on your bag and, like, I don't know, taking pictures of your bags, or you enjoy wearing them, you shouldn't feel bad about that. You shouldn't feel like there's something you need to seek out mental health support because of that. It might just be something that you enjoy doing. And same with people who collect Pokemon cards. One might think, oh, okay, they've got like childhood trauma or something, they have to collect Pokemon cards. Well, no, guys, it's not necessarily that. So I know that these YouTubers are sharing their own journeys, and the thing that I find annoying, guys, like, they're sharing their own journey, okay, which is good because everybody is changing, and I find it refreshing to watch, actually, people decluttering and that sort of thing. But also, I don't like it when they have the attitude like that is like, okay, I'm a better person now because I've become this person who doesn't need to buy things as much. Like, no, like, you don't have to become like them. And that's the problem with these influencers, is that they influence people, and they influence people not only to buy things, but also to live this lifestyle of, like, you know, having this perfect body and how to get abs, and then, you know, how to have a great mindset and all this. But they don't know, guys. Like, they're trying to figure it out for themselves, and they shouldn't really be acting like they've got it all figured out, because they don't. Like, nobody has it figured out. So all I'm saying is, don't let them influence you to get rid of everything if you don't want to, because there is nothing wrong with you if you do like to have a lot of things. You might just be a maximalist, and that's okay. You can still be free-minded and have a very calm mind with a lot of things around you. In fact, that's why I think meditation and yoga is good, because you can really focus in on yourself and your breath with chaos going around you in your body, and, you know, with people around you and all that. So it shouldn't really matter how many things you have, is what I'm trying to say. So don't connect your things to yourself, because if you get rid of those things, it doesn't matter. If you buy more things, it doesn't matter. But they should never be connected to who you are anyway in the first place. I think that's why it can be addictive to get rid of things as well, because you feel like you're getting, you know, bad energy out of your life. But you don't have to associate yourself with those things either. So anyways, have you found yourself detoxing from luxury, or have these influences kind of encouraged you to feel like you need to shop less as well? Because it's not necessarily a bad thing, but I think it's good to you know, take these videos with a pinch of salt as well. And also notice that this is a trend. This is a big YouTube trend to detox from luxury, and it might just very well be just a trend as well. So thanks for watching my video, and I'll talk to you guys on my next one. Bye!